Hey guys, Jobin here. Let's talk about a knife. It's kind of a strange one. It is the Ganzo 702. And if some of you are already saying, hey, that looks like something, well, yeah. Let's get this out of the way right away. The handle looks a heck of a lot like the SOG Aegis. But also, getting straight into my main complaint about the knife, they had what was a pretty good handle design, and they kind of missed the point. See how the Aegis has this nice swoop? Your hand just fits into it real nice. It's like a hard circle segment, like bite taken out of it. And your fingers just don't really fit right in there. Too big for one, not big enough for two. Strangeness. But besides probably borrowing the handle from the Aegis, the knives aren't really similar in any other way. Well, except I guess you could say for the pocket clip style, but I think that's it. So we're gonna put the Aegis away because there's just not really much else similar about the knives. They're pretty darn different other than that general handle shape. This knife has just so many things that kind of puzzle me about it. That handle, for one thing. Notice it does not have the Aegis style blade. It's a clip point. Really minor thing. It's got this sort of little fuller here with like 5 holes drilled through part of it. I think that's kind of a microtech styling kind of thing. I don't really get that personally, but whatever. The thumb studs serve as the blade stop, kind of cool. Axis lock, though not honestly a very good implementation of the axis lock. I think that might be because this ramp here is so ridiculously short. There's up and down play in more than you generally see in even these budget axis lock knives. Really funky pivot screws. Not sure what you'd turn those with. Something really pointy. The handle is aluminum. It's pretty blocky and kind of heavy, actually. And interestingly, despite being solid metal anyway, it does have nested steel liners. Now, I wonder if any of you have spotted what is perhaps the strangest thing about this knife. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll leave it up to you to decide which is the strangest in your opinion, but those. What the heck? Those, that's a milled out section in drilled and tapped screws for a pocket clip. And this knife does not use that style of pocket clip. It's mounted on the end, held in place by this glass breaker thingy. No idea if the glass breaker works, by the way. I saw an interesting discussion on the SE forum a while ago. A guy who's EMT or something, and he says on a lot of cheap knives the glass breakers are not designed right. That's something I would love to be able to test on various knives, but I'm not sure how I'd go about doing that. Need to make friends with somebody at a junkyard or something? I don't know. But anyway, it does have this, at least purportedly, glass breaker, which screws in and holds the clip, and you can flip it to the other side. But it does not use these screws. Those are completely pointless. Isn't that weird? I don't know what to make of that. So the knife as a whole is kind of unimpressive. Ganzo makes some really good stuff now. I think this was one of their earlier designs, and I don't think they'd really figured out what they were doing. This one was actually more or less their own design. It must be admitted that the 704 and the 710 are straight up copies of Benchmade designs. And they're great knives for the money, but not original. I have seen pictures, I don't have one, of the Ganzo, I think it's the 701, which is basically this knife, except it has a Tanto blade. I can't tell if the lock is designed better. And the handle is more like the Aegis. It's more of a nice swoop here. And it does actually have a pocket clip that uses these screw holes. You could say, well, maybe they're just using the same handle, but they're really not, because this part here is different, and the jimping's different. Actually, ooh, I forgot to mention the jimping on this. This is the most pointless jimping ever. Just look at it for a minute. You put your thumb there, and a lot of the pressure is going in the middle. So your thumb dips down into there, and it's basically sliding on that like rail. If the jimping went all the way across, it would work fine. Or if the side that's on the outside was on the inside, you know, if it were like mirrored, so that the rough part was in here in the middle, that would be fine. But this is like completely pointless. It doesn't stop you any more than just the rest of the spine of the knife. Also on the pictures of the Tanto version, it does seem like they wised up and they did flip it around, so it probably actually works. So this knife kind of cracks me up. It's and in case you haven't guessed already, no, this is not one I'm going to be stocking on my website. It's thoroughly goofy. I may get one of the Tanto ones to look at and see if they improved it, or if, you know, just better for whatever reason. But if you're thinking of getting this knife, I really think there's better stuff out there. I mean, it's not terrible. It's pretty well machined, actually. And aside from some slight concern about the lockup, it's well made and even well finished. And mine was well sharpened. It has an even blade grind, even edge bevels, and it came hair shaving sharp out of the box. So that's kind of what throws me about this knife when I think about it. It's like, it's a very competently made, incompetent design. It's so weird. I almost kind of like it in a backwards sort of way. I mean, it's not really a great knife, but I kind of chuckle when I pick it up. So there you go, guys. I think I've told you pretty much everything about this. Hope you found it instructive or amusing. Hopefully both. So this is Jobin signing off, saying remember where your knife is.